series. And today I've got a cracking episode for you. I'm going to teach you how to develop tailored, targeted training for the people who are serving your church. I'm going to show you the sort of content that you should be delivering to the different tiers that are in your church. And I'm going to help you understand the different needs that are at different levels of serving in your church. And also, I've got a nice offer for you today. So let's jump in. I want to look at specifically three areas, three tiers, three levels of people who are serving in your church. We've covered the 5 Ds in previous episodes: the do nothings, the doers, the delegators, designers, and the dreamer. I want to focus in on those three middle ones: the doers, the delegators, the designers, and show you how to develop targeted training for each of these tiers, each of these levels of leadership. So let's jump in to the doers. The doers, I want you to focus in on three areas when you're training people in this area. Firstly, is relevant skills. So people need training about their skills related to the area they're working in. If it's in children's ministry, then how to tell a story to a child, how to lead a child to Christ, how to control a group of children, etc. All those areas. If they're a greeter, how to do greeting. So you don't want to put greeters in with children's ministry people and then do a session on how to reach children with the gospel. The greeter's going to go, "Well, what am I doing here? I'm not a children's worker." So doers need relevant skill training related to their specific area. Doers also need training around healthy attitudes, how to be a joyful, spirited person, how to develop servanthood, how to love Jesus while you're caring for people. Those are healthy attitudes you want developed within your doers. And the third area of skills training for doers is you want vision connection. You want people to know, why are we doing what we're doing when we're working with children, young people, in the worship team, in the tech area, in the admin area, whatever we're serving. We want to know the why behind the what, just not how to do it, but why. What's our purpose? So those three areas are important for all your doers. And when it comes to delegators, they need those three areas. They do need relevant skills, they need vision connection, and they also need healthy attitude training. They need the same, but they need more. What they need help with and training with is in delegation. How do I empower other people? How do I equip other people? How do I give people not just tasks, but authority in delegation? How do I kind of lower my micromanaging capacity and lift up my empowering capacity? People need to be trained in how to delegate. And if a team leader does not delegate well in a healthy way, their team will always shrink. People love serving in teams where they're empowered by their team leader. So you have to train. Think of your team leaders. Remember the previous episode, we've been through this. You've highlighted, you know who your team leaders are. What are you doing to train them in team leadership, in team delegation? Now, I think a second area that delegators need specifically, beyond what I've already mentioned, is team building. How do you get that kind of morale up in the team, the sense of being part of a team, connected in a team, that sense of motivating people and fostering that sense of, hey, we're doing kingdom work here. How do you get better at communicating with your team? Make sure everybody's in the know. As Rick Warren says, people are down on what they're not knowing, what they're not connected with. People are down on what they're not up on, is the actual saying. Get people communicating well. So these skills of team building are important to build into your targeted training for delegators. Now, again, you don't want to put a bundle of team leaders into a room with a bundle of team members and train them about team building that is only relevant for the team leaders. You don't want to train a whole bundle of people across all your serving needs about delegation when they're sitting there going, well, I just greet people on the door. I don't delegate to anybody. I'm not there to empower someone else. I want to learn how to be a better greeter. See, whenever training is too generic, it loses its power, it loses energy, and people don't want to come back to that sort of training. But when training is targeted, it's tailored, it's bespoke, it's relevant. Oh my goodness, you're really talking right exactly where I'm at the moment. People not only lean in and learn more, they want to come back for more later. So your training styles, your training methods, the way you're training people can actually be damaging your leadership pipeline if you're not doing it targeted, tailored, and effectively like this. All right, the last area, designers. Now, they need the same skills as doers and delegators. They need all those different areas of relevant skills, healthy attitudes, vision connection, delegation, team building. The designers is a big job, isn't it? But they also need a couple other things as well. People who are leading departments, they need to have an ability to solve complex problems. They need to have an ability to deal with complexity. They need to handle multiple spinning plates with resilience. They need to be able to manage tensions that can never be resolved. Andy Stanley says you solve problems, but tensions you manage tensions. People leading departments need to manage tensions knowing that, you know what, that tension's kind of low today, but it might be high next week. We'll never solve the problem. We just have to manage it. So you need people who understand complexity and have an ability to solve complex problems. So they need training in problem solving. They need leading in how to do this and develop that skill set. And I think the other area that designers also need is how to design processes and systems and how to make them work efficiently, because they're not just a greeter on a door. They're not just leading a team of greeters. They're overseeing the entire hospitality area, which might include the welcome lounge. It might include the car park attendants. It might be the people on the front door as well. It might be people in the welcome lounge pre-service and post-service. There's multiple team leaders they've got to deal with, and they have to have processes and systems in place that work things efficiently and effectively, because you don't want disorganization ruining someone's serving experience. You don't want someone turning up on the wrong day because someone miscommunicated what was going on. And oh my goodness, now we've got five people in the car park and no one on the door. Oh my goodness, what a mess. You want people who can design processes. Now, this does not come naturally to people. They have to be trained in this. So you have to develop training, and we'll talk about different ways to develop these sort of training. So if you're thinking, oh my goodness, I'm a bit overwhelmed at the moment with all these different things I've got to train, don't worry. In up and coming episodes, we're actually going to outline for you different styles, different methods of training, and how also you can use technology to boost your training to the next level. So think through all these areas. Think through all the aspects of this training that you want to do. If you're feeling like, gee, I really am enjoying kind of watching, listening, enjoying all these episodes so much, I really would like to read something about the sort of leadership pipeline material that you're delivering. Well, you're in luck today because I actually have written a book called 27 Ways to Build a Leadership Pipeline. And the book is a great complement to this series that you're involved with right now. It's a great compliment. So there's a link in the notes. Go to Amazon, grab the book. In fact, why don't you grab a few for your team and read it together? And some of the details that I'm sharing here are in the book, and you can unpack it with the book with your team. You might want to flood your church with the book as well. Give them an idea of what you're focused on in building a leadership pipeline. Check out the link below. Thanks so much for being here today. God bless you. We'll see you in the next episode.